bonjour. My name is Nancy Cooper, and I'm one of the First Nation consultants here at the Ontario Library Service. I get to coordinate the First Nation Communities Read Book Award program, which is an honor and a privilege. I'm from the Chippewas of Rama First Nation, and this is a very special year as we celebrate 20 years of the First Nation Communities Read. This couldn't happen without the support of the staff at the Ontario Library Service. Shout out to Lee today, especially. All of the wonderful Canadian publishers out there who are continuously making greater efforts to publish Indigenous creators. And of course, all of the amazing, talented First Nation, Métis, and Inuit authors and illustrators out there doing what you do best. We also want to thank our official wholesaler, goodminds.com. Their support ensures the First Nation communities read titles will get into libraries and stores all over Canada. They are tireless, and you will most likely see them set up at a book fair near you one of these days. They have been informed of the selected titles, so they're ordered a lot. But I also want to, and we'll talk a little bit with Peter, but I want to acknowledge and just honor my lovely relationship that I have with the periodical marketers, and especially Barry Francis. He's my guy. We have a great relationship getting this program connected together with the periodical marketers of Canada, and I don't know where I'd be without my guy. So thanks to Barry. He's listening. But most of all, I want to acknowledge and honor the First Nation public librarians in Ontario. You are all such wonderful community builders and community dreamers. It's an absolute pleasure working with all of you. A jury of those particular librarians, supported by the Ontario Library Service, selected the winning submissions from the Indigenous titles submitted by Canadian publishers all over the country. It's always a tough decision for the jury because of the sheer amount of excellent resources submitted. This year alone, there were 69 nominated titles in the children's and young adult category, and I only see that growing as the years go by. All of us at the Ontario Library Service are very grateful for the generous support of Indigenous literature provided by Periodical Marketers of Canada, the National Association of Magazine and Book Wholesalers, who have created and sponsored the annual PMC Indigenous Literature Award, which has become a much sought after and important form of recognition for Indigenous authors in Canada. We are very delighted to have Peter Olson of the Periodical Marketers of Canada with us today to recognize and introduce the winners of these prestigious awards for our 20th anniversary year, 2023-2024. Peter, over to you.
Well, thanks, Nancy. What a great introduction. And boy, are we proud to be here. And I've been involved for all 10 years and Barry Francis as well, I believe. And it's just a wonderful event for us to participate in. And we're very happy to be here. So hello to our online viewers. I'm proud to represent Periodical Marketers of Canada in introducing this year's winners of the PMC Indigenous Literature Awards. This represents the 10th year that our organization has had the privilege of sponsoring this award, which recognizes the creators of outstanding Indigenous literature. The program includes awards in two categories, children's and young adult, and the response from Indigenous authors across the country has been outstanding once again this year. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce the winners of the 2023-2024 PMC Indigenous Literature Awards and the cash awards that go with them. First, the winner in the children's category. The winner is Marty Wilson-Trudeau, an Anishinaabe writer, originally from Miching, Ontario, and a post-secondary drama teacher in Sudbury, Ontario. She is recognized for Phoenix Gets Greater, a story about the childhood experiences of her son, Phoenix, an Anishinaabe actor and dancer who started dancing ballet at 3, grass dancing at 5, and acting at age 6. Sometimes picked on as a child for his play with dolls and love of dance, Phoenix is proud of who he is, but struggles with feeling different. With the help of his loving family and stories of the Anishinaabe culture, he learns just how special he is. Congratulations to Marty, who is online with us today. Marty, please share the background of this heartfelt story with us.
The story is about my son, Phoenix, and the trials and tribulations and the bullying that he went through as a child, as a two-spirit, and him coming out to me and his family. When he originally was about 14 when he did this, and just everything that he went through and how important family and acceptance is, and how important the culture, the Anishinaabe culture, is to him as well.
That's great. That's great. And now turning to the young adult category, our winner this year is Joseph Kakwinokanasum, a member of the James Smith Cree Nation, for My Indian Summer, a novel about survival, reconciliation, and identity set during the summer of 1979. Loosely based on his own childhood, it's his first novel. Of Cree and Austrian descent, Joseph grew up in northern British Columbia. One of 7 children, he was raised by a single mother. Of note, in 2022, he was selected by Daniel J. MacLeod as one of the Writers' Trust of Canada's Rising Stars. He now lives and writes in BC's Lower Mainland. Congratulations, Joseph, on your outstanding first novel and the impressive accolades your writing has been receiving. Joseph is online with us today, so I invite him to tell us about My Indian Summer.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. The story is fiction. It started off as a memoir, but it's essentially a coming of age of a young man who has some decisions to make and living in a very adverse home life environment. But you know, with the help of his friends, he's got a chance to survive. So yeah, it is loosely based on my childhood, though. Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thanks. What 2 great winning authors we have with us today, and 2 great stories that are heartfelt and will touch many and continue to touch many and help many people as well. So thanks, Joseph, and hearty congratulations to both of this year's award-winning authors for their important contributions to Indigenous literature in Canada. Finally, on behalf of my colleagues at PMC, I'd like to express sincere thanks to Nancy Cooper and our partners in the Ontario Library Service, members of our judging panel, and the First Nation Library Week organizer for allowing us to participate in today's program. And I'd also like to thank Barry Francis, who, as Nancy said earlier, Barry's been a real key liaison and connection with us, with Nancy and with the organization, helping us to do this. And this all started from a magazine and book wholesaler in Kingston, Ontario, back in the 1950s, putting in a little bit of money for Canadian authors. And we've been able to keep this going for, the last 60, 70 years or so. And we're proud to do it. And 10 years ago, we said, let's do it in this way with our Indigenous authors. So we're very proud, and congratulations to our winning authors. And again, thanks to Nancy and everybody behind Nancy, and thank you to Barry. And we're sure glad to be here. And I'll get off the stage in a moment. Thanks very much. And congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Always appreciative of your voice and your time. So I think we'll pop Peter backstage and we can have a chat and have some tea and sit around the kitchen table, as we are wont to do in our community. So Marty, I am Two-Spirit. I sure could have used a book like that when I was little. Although I was kind of boy crazy for a while, but then it switched and back and forth. But when I think about all the kids today who Indigenous kids and non-Indigenous kids, who can pick up that book and read that and go, there is nothing wrong with me. I'm the way I'm supposed to be. It's so great. And I imagine that's probably one of the main reasons why you wanted to write the book.
Oh, absolutely. That was always the first and foremost thought when we were writing it, is Phoenix always said, like, I can't be the only one that went through this. Like, there must be, I know he said hundreds, but I said there's probably thousands of children that feel like this, young adults that feel like this, even adults that still feel that they can't be authentically themselves. And if we reached 1 or we reached 2, I was more than happy. So that was always like the thought in our minds.
Mhm. It's so great. Such a great book.
Thank you.
Joseph Kakwinokanasum. I practiced that. Very proud of myself.
Good job.
Big one. I gave away my copy, so I can't hold it up. Do you have a copy?
I would just actually ask my wife if I could borrow her copy of the book because I don't have a copy either. Hang on, I'll go get it.
Okay. Maybe while we're waiting, Marty, you could tell us, I know that when we had lunch, you shared with me some of your upcoming plans for writing. You want to share a little bit about what's coming down the pipe?
Yeah, I am in the works of making a graphic novel, and it's based on this 60 scoop, and it'll be based on my life as a 60 scoop survivor.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's so great. Now, who's going to be illustrating it? Do you know yet?
I don't know, but I have a couple of names that I'll pass on to my publisher because I've been reading Richard Van Camp's series of graphic novels, and his illustrator was fantastic. And so I'm really kind of hoping, yeah, that we can make a connection or something along those lines.
Is that Natasha?
Really impressive work.
I think Natasha
Maybe.
did some of his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think that is him.
Natasha Donovan? Maybe. Yeah.
No, it was
Who knows?
no, I'm not too sure.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyways,
All right. There's a lot of amazing illustrators out there. It's basically what
there
I was
is.
at. Yeah.
There really is.
Yeah. So if anybody knows any really great Indigenous illustrators, send them my way because I'm always being asked who's out there doing that. And
Yeah,
we need you. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Joseph, I take an extra large in my t-shirt, so FYI, I really like yours.
Thank you.
Maybe you could show the cover of your book now. There it is.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so happy about that.
So I read somewhere that you had submitted a memoir.
I did. Yeah, it actually started off as memoir. I'd been working on this memoir for years. In fact, I went through the writer studio at SFU, and it was a long, difficult process. But after I got out, after I graduated, I was really burnt out, and the emotional sort of cost of writing memoir was making me sick. I was, and so when I did submit the manuscript to Tidewater, my publisher Lynn and the editor Kilmeny said, "Why don't we make this into a fiction? It seems like, it'd be a good opportunity for you to stretch your muscles and relax from the memoir work that's so hard, because memoir, you're always in your own head and you're never really in anybody else's." So the fiction was a really good exercise. I'm glad I did it because I did need the break. It's kind of one of those lessons that I learned in the writer studios is trust your editor, trust your publisher, because they know what they're doing. And so I did. I just, it was more or less a leap of faith. And it was a 1-year blur, like to write the story. It took a year to get it done. But it was one of the hardest, but one of the most formative years as a writer for me.
Wow. And you just celebrated your book birthday last week, I think, right?
Yeah, I did. 1 year old on the 27th of September.
Baby.
But you always want your babies to do well, right? Like, when they leave the nest, you just want them to be, healthy and happy. And everything else is just, it's gravy, right? But the the book has exceeded all of my expectations.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
One of the things about the program, maybe not all of the viewers will know, is part of our funding allows us to send a library set of 5 copies of each of your books and a library set of 1 copy of each of the shortlisted titles to each of the First Nation public libraries in the province. So that's 41 libraries will be receiving a whole library set of each of their books. So the words is getting out there, and the lessons and the long-term ripples of your words are going to be in communities forever. Marty, do you want to just take a couple minutes and talk about what getting the award means for you and your family?
Oh, this was, it was so wonderful, and it was a humbling experience because I looked at the list of the other authors and I was like, oh, there ain't no way I'm gonna get this, because I did read some of those books and I've read them to my classes and I was like, no, ain't gonna happen. So what a beautiful, wonderful honor and very humbling experience. And shout out to all the other authors that were nominated. Like, you all deserve this.
Oh, thank you. Joseph, how about you? I know we've had some great conversations. Maybe you can share some of that stuff with people.
You know, some of my first memories growing up in that little town was going to the library. I didn't go there for the books. I didn't go there for the people. I went there to keep warm, get out of the rain, and be a little safer. And so this book, this award, it's a different, you know, level of a different species of validation for me. It's the kind of validation that I wish I would have had as a child and growing up. It means it hit me in a place that no other award could ever hit me. I would, like I told you before, Nancy, like I woke up the day after I found out about the award and called my publisher to make sure I wasn't dreaming. It's still a little bit unreal to me right now. I'm still reeling from this. I couldn't sleep last night. I was up until 1 o'clock. I've had 3 hours sleep. I'm an emotional mess. I'm barely hanging on. I wanna cry with joy. You know, I really do. This means the world to me. And you know, to be chosen out of such an accomplished list of writers, what a massive talent pool. I like Marty said, like there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. But
It's very surreal.
It's a dream. It's
Yeah.
like a floating. I don't even feel the ground under me. It's like I'm in a fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
But
out.
definitely, yeah. One of the things that the jury really looks at is how about the transmission of cultural knowledge, transmission of intergenerational knowledge, how programmable it is in a library. So, you know, look for lots of book club requests or you know, presentations, book reading for the little ones, which is always fun. I'm imagining, Marty, you've gone to a few book readings for the kidlets, and the questions that you get are so lovely, and you just don't know the effect that your words are going to have down the road. And that's the best part about being an author, I think, is especially Indigenous authors, to provide that mirror back to people who've never had that mirror before.
Yeah.
And it's such an honor to speak with both of you. The Periodical Marketers of Canada are providing the PMC Indigenous Literature Award. Also will be providing each of the authors with a check for $5,000, which we haven't mentioned yet, which is pretty great, and a lovely plaque with the cover of your book on it. So that'll be going out in the mail later this week. I want to thank you both so much for being here. I know Marty, you're at work and it's really early in the morning in BC. So thank you for both being here, and we're getting there was one thing in the chat. What did it say? This is an extraordinary award, and the books by these authors are a true gift to readers. And that is from the lovely and talented Marty Wolf. I've known Marty for a lot of years, and I look forward to getting to know Lynn better from Tidewater, because we haven't really gotten to know each other. So thank you.
Lynn's wonderful.
So
Yeah,
nice.
thank you.
Yeah.
So is there any other final words that you'd like to share?
I want to thank all of you for everything that you do, for promoting Indigenous writing, the First Nations, like the community reads community, the people behind the scenes, everybody that's had anything to do with this. And I know I'm leaving out people that need to be mentioned. I'm like I said, my head is in, and I took notes, but I can't read my notes right now because they're so bloody scratchy and messy and shaky, and I am just so very grateful. I have so much respect for librarians as well. They are the center of civilization as far as I'm concerned. That is, the libraries are the one true thing. You can go back 10,000 years and you can find traces of libraries.
Yeah.
And some of the oldest buildings in the world are libraries. So this means a lot. There are no words to describe how much this means. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joseph. Marty, do you have any closing thoughts?
Absolutely. I just want to thank everybody who was involved in this process. I'd like to thank Margie at Second Story Press and her amazing army of women that work with her for taking a chance on little old me, who called one day out of the blue and said, I think I have a story. And I just want to say, like, how grateful I am to be in an age where Indigenous stories can be told. After being forcible silenced for so many years, I just would like to thank the opportunity for telling a story. And what a great day to be Indigenous.
It is a wonderful day to be Indigenous. I am, if Tidewater hadn't taken a chance on me, I wouldn't be here. If they didn't offer me, the opportunity. I mean, these are opportunities that were not available to Indigenous people. Most Indigenous people. When I was a child, growing up, being a writer was one of those things where there's no such thing as an Indian writer. We weren't allowed to.
No.
And so this, it really resonates. I mean, I'm shaking inside.
Yeah. It's an
I'm gonna go
ultimate
have a big
honor.
old cry after this. I'm gonna go hug my cats. I'm gonna hug my wife. I'm gonna call my publisher. I'm gonna cry, and I'm okay with that, because we're allowed to now, right?
For sure.
That's right.
Maybe I'll join you with that big old cry.
Yeah.
So, on behalf of the First Nation Communities Read program, I want to thank you both again. And to all our viewers, thank you for joining us. We have a good load of participants watching this amazingness. Please watch out on our website, First Nation Communities Read, fncr.ca, for all of the upcoming events that we'll be doing throughout the next several months to celebrate our 20th anniversary. We've been doing this for 20 years now. Our first winner was Thompson Highway with his butterfly kites, I believe. Yeah, and here we are today, 20 years later, with you.
That's some pretty awesome company.
Yes.
That is amazing company. Yeah.
Oh, I could go Anya Talega, Joanne Robertson, Drew Hayden Taylor. Yeah.
Just, to be in that pool, like, I mean, I can't even believe it's going to take me a year to get over this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, Drew Hayden Taylor discovered him in university, and Blue-Eyed Indian, I think, was the first one. And wow, he inspired me to pick up a pen and write down these thoughts. So being in the same category throughout 20 years with him, I can't even explain. I cannot even explain.
Oh, he'll be happy to hear that. I'll have to let him know.
Yeah, I can't even.
No.
So librarians out there listening, I know that probably Joseph and Marty would be available for video readings or video presentations. So please reach out to their publishers, either Tidewater Press or Second Story, and they can probably help make that happen. I know that as a writer myself, I get a lot of requests from libraries, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, please reach out to them.
I'm down.
So a big chimigwech to all of the people joining us today. A big chimigwech to you, Marty, and to you, Joseph, and also to Phoenix, who's at school today.
Yes.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. And yeah, don't forget, it's an awesome day to be Indigenous.
It is.
It
Yeah.
is. Chimigwech, Pamampi,
Pamapi.
Pamampi.